Latitudes are basically the imaginary lines which are parallel to the equator and drawn east to west over the globe, and also called as parallels. Latitudes are basically circles, and the size of the circle decreases if we move from towards the polar region. I will show you through diagram what is the latitudes and how can we draw the latitudinal lines over the globe. These are the angular distance of any place over the surface drawn from the center of the earth with reference to the equator. Let us see the lines of latitude over the globe. I will show you through the diagram. You can easily understand. Hello.
Yes, sir.
Yeah, वालेकुम अस्सलाम. वो नेटवर्क चला गया था. Sorry for that. Okay, we were discussing about the latitudes that are one of the important lines to show the location of any place over the Earth's surface. We know that the Earth is in spherical in nature, and there is no any corner that can be associated with a place to join that, with a place to locate that. That's why we require a certain lines, that is imaginary lines, to show the location of the place or to identify the place over the Earth's surface with reference to their situation and location. The lines of latitudes, the lines of longitudes are the important lines which are helpful in terms of locating the things and placing the things over the Earth's surface. And I wanted to show about the lines of latitude through the diagram. And this is one of the important lines, that is the equator, that is 0-degree latitudes. 90-degree north is known as the North Pole. 90-degree south latitude, that is the point only, is the South Pole. If we move from equator towards the 90-degree north and towards the 90-degree south, then the lines of latitudes are helpful in the locations. These are the angular distance over the Earth's surface. Suppose you are here, and from the Earth's surface, from the center of the Earth and outer surface of the Earth, if we want to measure an angle, then that is the angular distance of any place over the Earth's surface that is measured from the center of the Earth with reference to the equatorial line. That may be a 20-degree north angle. And the lines join the equal latitudes over the Earth's surface is called as parallel. अगर equal latitudes है, उसको ज्वाइन करने वाली जो रेखा है, जैसे 20 डिग्री नॉर्थ को ज्वाइन किया तो 20 डिग्री नॉर्थ लैटिट्यूड. उसी तरीके से ईस्ट और वेस्ट की दिशा में अलग अलग एंगुलर मेजरमेंट पे अगर हम लाइंस ऑफ लैटिट्यूड्स को ड्रॉ करें तो देन इट विल बी just like a circle, and the size of circle decreases if we move from north either towards the south from the equator. अगर हम नॉर्थ से साउथ की ओर अगर मूव करते हैं तो यह साइज जो है आपकी सर्किल का, दैट जैसे अगर इसका छोटा होता चला जाता है. तो इक्वेटर is the longest circle And all other circles, if we move from the equator towards the either North Pole or the South Pole, the size of the circle decreased, and ultimately it reaches at a point at North Pole and the South Pole, that is 90° north and 90° south. Then how the latitudes are being classified in terms of their net radiations. On the Earth's surface, we know that the areas near the tropics, that is in mid between to the Earth's surface where the vertical radiations can be observed, the areas near the tropics received more energy in compared to the areas near the pole where the slanting radiations are located, where the oblique rays are the found. That's why the areas near the pole are always in energy deficit conditions. In terms of net radiation, in the previous class I have told that the total energy, the balances between the total incoming energy, total incoming insolation over the Earth's surface, and total outgoing insolation from the Earth's surface in the long wave. If we studied over the Earth's surface in terms of total incoming energy and total outgoing energy, then the net radiation for the whole globe will be equal, will be zero. But there are the variations over the insolation on the Earth's surface. Heat energy somewhere received more over the Earth's surface in compared to the other areas of the globe. If we see the latitudinal heat balance, then we can define that these are the process of the considering the areas over the Earth's surface in terms of their latitudinal location, how any latitudes or any latitudinal zone of their surface varies in terms of the receiving of their heat energy and outgoing of their long wavelength energy from their surfaces, from their areas. Then we can say that the tropical region, the areas over their surface may be termed either in terms of energy surplus or in terms of energy deficit. अगर हम देखें पूरे ग्लोब पे, तो mid latitudes are the areas of the equator or the tropical region are the areas where the net radiation is more. Here we can see that the vertical solar radiations are being received in that areas that is known as tropical belt from 23.5 degree north to 23.5 degrees south. These regions received more energy in terms of the energy surplus area. तो tropical areas को क्या कहेंगे? Energy surplus area. But the energy decreases if we move from the equator towards the polar region. We can see the slanting radiation, the rays of the angle of the sun is in slanting ways, or the oblique radiations are found. Hence, near the North Pole or the South Pole or from the equator towards the polar region, the energy generally decreases and it is called as the energy deficit zone of the world. In terms of अगर हम एटमॉस्फेयर में देखें कि एटमॉस्फेयर के अंदर एटमॉस्फेयर पे कितना एनर्जी मिलती है और कितना खर्च होती है, तो एटमॉस्फेयर इज कॉल्ड एज जनरली एनर्जी डेफिसिट एरियाज. जो भी मिलता है एटमॉस्फेयर के अंदर हीट एनर्जी, दैट इज बीइंग एक्सपेंड इनटू द डिफरेंट मैकेनिज्म, आइदर स्कैटरिंग, रिफ्लेक्शन, डिफ्यूजन और डायरेक्ट रिफ्लेक्शन फ्रॉम द अर्थ सरफेस. तो प्लीज नोट डाउन 90 डिग्री नॉर्थ पे अगर हम देखें तो वेरी लेस अमाउंट ऑफ द एनर्जी इज बीइंग रिसीव्ड. अगर हम इक्वेटर पे देखें, दैट इज 9 डिग्री और द दैट इज लोकेटेड इन द 0 degree equator, then you can observe that it is the 100 kilocalories of the per unit areas are received. Then it is decreased down in terms of the kilowatt or the kilocalories of the per year energy. Then you can see that the polar region are in the energy deficit zone and where the energy are very less. Solar energy is less. तो एनर्जी डेफिसिट और एनर्जी सरप्लस ये कभी कभी कंपटीशन में आपका 2 लाइनर एग्जाम में या 200 वर्ड्स में दे देता है कि लैटिट्यूडनल हीट बैलेंस के बारे में लिखिए. तो इन टर्म्स ऑफ अगर लार्जर क्लासिफिकेशन करें on the basis of the latitudinal zone over the earth's surface in terms of the heat energy distribution, then we can classify the whole earth in terms of the torrid zone, temperate zone, and frigid zone. And let us think about what is the torrid, what is temperate, and what is, suppose this is the globe. ये आपका मेरी ड्राइंग बड़ी कमजोर है. Suppose this is the globe, and I have told that the equator is the longest circle that is in between the globe or the earth's surface, and that divides the whole earth into two equal parts. One is northern hemisphere and the another one is the southern hemisphere. That is 23.5 degrees south latitude, 23.5 degree north, this is the boundary of the vertical sun rays, and here the energy surplus areas are found, and that is called as the tropical belt. The areas between 23.5 degree north and 23.5 degrees south is called as tropical belt of the earth's surface. 23.5 degrees south and 23.5 degree north are also called as Tropic of Capricorn and Tropic of Cancer. This 0 degree equatorial line is also called as equatorial belt or the equator, that is 23.5 degree north and 23.5 degrees south. Suppose there is another circle that is known as 66.5 degree. This is the rough sketch only. You can show it in the another diagram and consult it with the your textbook. 66.5 degree north and 66.5 degree south is known as Arctic Circle and Antarctica Circle. And the region between that Tropic of Cancer and Arctic Circle is called as temperate belt on the basis of the heat distribution. This is the temperate belt, and this one is, you can term it as the frigid zone, that is always in frozen characteristics, and 6-month day and 6-month night is being experienced over that frigid zone. And this is temperate belt. It was the first Eratosthenes who have classified that climatic division of the world in terms of the torrid, temperate, and frigid zone. Okay, Suraj Dhaka, you want to ask something?
Yes, sir. Sir, from which latitude does subtropical areas lie? Subtropical belt.
Yeah, very good question, beta. Subtropical high pressure belt areas or the subtropical belt are near the 30 to 40, or you can say 25 to 35 degree north in the south. It is just near to the areas where the subtropical high pressure belt is formed. And these latitudes of 25 to 35 is also termed as 25 to 30. Few climatologists termed it as 25 to 30. Few say that it is located between 20 to 30. But near about 25 to 35, you can consider in general about the subtropical high pressure belt areas, and that is also called as horse latitudes also. It is also found in both the hemisphere, in 25 to 35 in northern hemisphere, 25 to 35 in southern hemisphere. That is the classification over the pressure belts over the earth's surface and its distribution, and that is called as horse latitudes or the subtropical high pressure areas. There is another classification also in terms of subpolar belt that is located between the 50 to 60 to 70 in north and the south hemisphere both, and it is located due to classification of the subpolar low pressure belt area. That is the zone of the temperate cyclone, and most of the cyclone of the world that is larger in dimensions occurred in the temperate region of this belt that is known as subpolar low pressure belt, where the cyclone and front form regularly. Yes, any other question?
No, sir. Thank you.
Yes, so we can see that on the basis of the distribution of the heat. Yes, Atik, please ask. The 51%, 51% जो आपका खर्च हुआ है वो या हाँ, जैसे कि 51% में आपका मैंने बताया था कि 2%, फिर 9%, फिर जो है आपका जो है 19% जो है आपका खर्च हो जाता है इवापोरेशन में. इवापोरेशन थ्रू वेरियस मीन्स, इट इज नॉट सो इजी. इवापोरेशन समटाइम आवर बॉडी, जैसे हमारे सरफेस में हमारे बॉडी को हीट करने में, या हमारे अंदर जो ट्रांसपीरेशन होता है हमारे रंध्रों द्वारा, या हमारे अंदर जो डिफरेंट तरह के लिविंग ऑर्गेनिज्म के अंदर जो प्रोसेसेस होते हैं, that is also helped by the incoming solar insolation or the solar radiation. This is also ultimately expended in terms of evaporation or the transpiration or the evapotranspiration. Sometime from the soil pore, suppose the soil is being heated, the soil pore, soil wide also transfer the heat in terms of evapotranspiration. The plants which they consume the heat also transfer the heat in terms of the transpiration from their leaves, as well as the different surfaces are also absorb the heat and they radiate back sometime directly or in the other form also, like the convectional current के form में कुछ change हो गए, turbulent current के form में कुछ change हो गए, and later on कुछ जो है 23% जो direct radiate होके चले गए, कुछ diffusion के form में convert हो गए. So there are the different mechanism through which that heat is being expended and heat is being used and utilized. But ultimately that heat released released into the atmosphere. Otherwise, अगर हम उतने ही एटमॉस्फेरिक हीट को अगर ऑब्जर्व किए रहे, अगर उसमें से खर्च वगैरह ना हो, अगर ट्रांसफर ना हो, तो वी कैन नॉट live and survive. Balances are ultimately required, but it is not so easy as I have told in terms of percentage. There are the complex processes in there, in the atmosphere, from soil, from the leaves, from the other surfaces, from the water and the other surfaces. Somewhere it is directly reflected, somewhere it is trapped. कभी कभी ये काउंटर जो रेडिएशन होता है, जैसे कि कार्बन डाइऑक्साइड लोग कहते हैं, एक सवाल मैं एक्सपेक्ट कर रहा था कि सर when the carbon dioxide or the methane or the different water vapor, they observe the amount of certain amount of the solar radiation that is in the form of long wave. What happened to that? Sometime it is re-radiated back to the surface. कभी कभी इसलिए ग्लोबल वार्मिंग और एटमॉस्फेयर के टेम्परेचर इसलिए भी बढ़ता है क्योंकि ग्रीन हाउस गैसेस जो है, आपकी कार्बन मोनोऑक्साइड, कार्बन डाइऑक्साइड, नाइट्रोजन डाइऑक्साइड, मीथेन, water vapor, these are the nature of these gases. They absorb the outgoing radiation, certain amount of outgoing radiation, and raise the heat of atmosphere and re-radiate back to the earth's surface, and further it is returned back later on. So there are the certain complex processes of the counter radiation and re-radiations are there over the earth's surface. Atmospheric nature is just like an insulator also. It balances the temperature, it moderates the temperature. That's why we are able to live and survive over this planet. And we have to care this planet very rigorously because the planet's atmosphere is changing day by day and time to time. Yes, Atik. जी बेटा. Scattering is a type of reflections, or you can say that diffusion by the very smallest size of the particles of the gaseous molecules, and that is the invisible size of that particles. Very छोटे छोटे smaller जो है particles, उससे अगर स्कैटरिंग या आपके हो रहा है, तो diffusion is by the lower layer in the form of daylight, where the size of the particle of that suspended materials or the dust particles which are in lower layer of the atmosphere is longer in compared to the wavelength that is interfacing to that surfaces. That's why it is the selective scattering sometimes is called as diffusion. Yes. Any other question? Okay. Yeah, please ask. Sorry, can you explain also? Colorado, G. Yeah, yeah, yeah. बेटा एक मुहावरा है, एक बड़ा जो है अच्छा जो है वो मुहावरा है, इससे पहले भी मैंने बताया था डिक्टम कि ब्रिटेन में ज्यादातर जो है वेदर ही मिलता है, और इजिप्ट में जो सब ट्रॉपिकल हाई प्रेशर बेल्ट में लोकेटेड है वहाँ क्लाइमेट ही मिलता है. क्योंकि that areas of Colorado, that areas of somewhere of the subpolar region, subpolar लो प्रेशर बेल्ट में जो जहां तक जो एरियाज है या टेम्परेट बेल्ट का जो कंडीशंस है, और द साइक्लोनिक बेल्ट का जो कंडीशंस है, टेम्परेट साइक्लोनिक बेल्ट का, कि where the weather is not permanent. Sometime the summer is pleasant, or the season is very running off in a good nature. अचानक कभी क्लाउड बस्टिंग हो गया, अचानक कभी जो है टेम्परेचर जो है आपको स्नोफॉल होने लगे because of their latitudinal locations at higher latitudes. Sometime higher altitude areas में भी अचानक snowfall, sleet के form में precipitation होने लगा. That causes to the reduce down of the temperature also. Sometime during the winter season, the Chinook characterizes in the they raise the temperature. Winter season में तापमान बढ़ जाता है और अचानक जो है बर्फ पिघलने लगता है Rocky Mountains के leeward side. The impermanent nature or instability of the atmosphere is depends upon the nature of that parcel of air and the level of the saturation point and how it is moving in a vertical directions and at what level it will be reduced down. If the slanting and if these phenomena occurs in that areas, in that locations, the sure the areas will be characterized with the unstable conditions. Yeah, we will discuss in a very detail of these processes. Yes, Atik. Yeah, it can be also linked. It can also, और ज्यादातर जो हमारे मानसून का डिले हो जाना, ट्रॉपिकल एरियाज में मानसून कभी कभी डिले हो जा रहा है. कभी मानसून में रेन स्पेल जो होता था 15 डेज का, वो रेन स्पेल लगातार जो बारिशें होती हैं उसको रेन स्पेल कहते हैं. वो उसका साइज जो है कम हो गया, वो 8 दिन का, 7 दिन का, 6 दिन का हो गया. We can also associate with these phenomena of the climatic changes or due to the global warming climate change effect also. There is no doubt that climate change is experienced and hazardous and transforming the nature of the weather of a particular areas, especially those areas where the emissions of the greenhouse gases are more, where the technological interventions are more, where the wind is already unpredictable. So these are the areas where the weather, climate, and the elements of weather are negatively experienced and observed due to the climate change. Good question. Thank you.
Sir.
Yes,
sir, but sometimes in Britain, anticyclonic conditions develop due to which the weather does not change for even many years. Sir.
Yeah, good, right? You are saying good. Sometimes anticyclonic features. Anticyclonic means where the density of the air is more and high pressure is created. Subtropical high pressure belt में anticyclonic condition है. पोलर हाई एरियाज में, पोलर रीजन में एंटी साइक्लोनिक कंडीशन है. जहां से विंड मूवमेंट स्टार्ट होता है वो एरियाज एंटी साइक्लोनिक एरियाज में आते हैं. जहां पे हाई प्रेशर बेल्ट एरियाज क्रिएट होते हैं वो एरिया जो है एंटी साइक्लोनिक रीजन में आता है. और वहां पे हाई डेंसिटी ऑफ द एयर होने की वजह से या डिसेंडिंग ऑफ एयर होने की वजह से वहां पे स्टेबिलिटी जो है, ज्यादातर वेदर और क्लाइमेट में स्टेबिलिटी मिलती है. And sometimes it leads towards the desert formation, raising of temperature. So climate change also affect in another way also, in terms of formation of anticyclone also. Yeah. Okay. तो लैटिट्यूडनल हीट बैलेंस के बाद हम लोग नेक्स्ट क्लास में कल से टेम्परेचर पढ़ेंगे. दैट इज वेरी इंपॉर्टेंट. टेम्परेचर और हीट में क्या वेरिएशन है, इंसोलेशन और टेम्परेचर में क्या फर्क है, टेम्परेचर के कौन कौन से फैक्टर्स हैं जो टेम्परेचर को डिटरमाइन करते हैं और उसके डिस्ट्रीब्यूशन. टेम्परेचर को वर्ल्ड मैप पे कैसे शो किया जाता है, आइसोथर्म किसे कहते हैं, ये सब चीजें हम लोग नेक्स्ट क्लास में पढ़ेंगे. और आज बस इतना ही. थैंक यू सो मच.